So what is a object and how do we create it? So an object don't just appear magically. We first have to create our class, and our class is like the blueprint of our object. So the class would usually have your properties, um, which are your fields or attributes, and it would also have a behavior, what you want, which would be your methods, what you want the object to do. Okay, so the next slide will have like an example of a class. Okay, let's go. Okay, so this is a dog class. So we try to have a dog object. Okay, so what are the characteristics of a dog? What does a dog usually have a name? So that's why we have the name attribute right there on top. And secondly, we have the dog constructor, where we would pass in the dog name and create the dog object. And thirdly, we have the sound, which is the method, what we want the dog to do. What sound does the dog do? Would bark. So the class is like the blueprint of what we expect the dog to do and the characteristic that the dog should have. So yeah, I'll show the example of how we can create an object from this class on the next slide. Let's go. Okay, so here we have our dog class reference and Bobby, which will be the object reference is equal to new dog. By saying new dog, we're creating an instance or of the class, or we're creating the object. That's how we create an object, by the new dog. And as you can see here, we pass in Bobby as a string. The Bobby will be the name of the dog, and as you see below that, we have Bobby dot sound. The dot sound, we actually invoking the method dot sound. We're calling on the method, and when you call the method, we should have Bobby barks woof woof printed out on our console. Yeah, and secondly, we have the dog reference again. Bella is equal to new dog, creating our object. Passing in Bella is a string, and once we say Bella dot sound, we're actually calling the sound method, and it will print out Bella box woof woof. Yeah, methods are usually to do stuff, and yeah, here we're making a sound which is Bella box woof woof. And you can also access like the name property or attribute of the dog object, but I will touch on that on our next example, where I'll code this example and talk more on the concepts and stuff. Okay, let's go. Okay, yeah, we're back again. Now we will be coding the examples that we had on our slides. You can follow along on your IDE, or you can just watch the video. Yeah, the choice is up to you. I'm currently using IntelliJ, but you, the viewer, you can use any IDE that you feel comfortable with. If you decide to follow along and code with me. If you are new and you don't have an IDE installed on a virtual machine, that's nothing to worry about. I'll have a link at the description section of the video, where you'll be referenced to a video that will guide you on how to have IntelliJ set up on your virtual machine. Yeah, but for now, yeah, let's code the examples that we had on our previous slide. But before we do that, let's just test out our main class, because this is the class that we'll be using, and make sure that it's working. Yeah, but when I run the main class, I expect it to print out. Okay, let me just put that there. I'll expect it to print out hello world. Lovely. Seems like it's working. We have hello world printed out. And now let's go back to the slide examples that we had. So we said that we wanted to create a dog object. That was our main goal. And a dog object would usually have dog properties or characteristics, and it would also be able to do things that the dog could do. Yeah, now we'll just code that, but for us to get to an object, we first need to have a class, and that's what we'll be doing now. Yeah, let me create a dog class. Okay, doggy. Okay, and let's say string, and add our name attribute, and then our constructor, which will take in the dog name. Okay, and assign it to our name attribute. Okay, to our name attribute. Lovely. Yep, and then we'll have our method, which will be the dog doing his thing, barking. Woof woof. Okay, let's use our name attribute and say box. Woof woof. Yeah, so yeah, this is our class, right? As we discussed on the slides, our class usually have dog characteristics, and dog, yeah, anything that a dog could do should always be at the dog class, because a class is like a blueprint of our dog. So yeah, that's what we're doing now, and that's what we did. Yeah, so now let's go to the main class and test out our dog class and try to create a dog object from that. Let's say dog Bobby. Let's use Bobby as our reference. Let's say new dog and passing Bobby as the name, and then let's see what happened when we try to invoke the sound method. Let's see if Bobby actually barks or not. Oh wow, Bobby barks. Woof woof. There we have it, our object created. And yeah, let's see if we can access the name attribute in our dog object. I didn't show it at the slides, but yeah, currently showing it here. Okay, how can we do that? Let's just say, let's just do this. Let's say the dog name is okay. Dog name. Now we're trying to access the name attribute. We should have the dog name is Bobby printed out. Let's put that to a test. Okay, let's run this. Oh, lovely. The dog name is Bobby. Bobby barks, woof woof. Yeah, let's create a second object. Okay, we can name this Bella is equal to new dog parsing Bella as our name, as our dog name. And yeah, let me just copy this. Let me just copy this and yeah, just use the Bella reference and yeah, Bella reference to get the sound that Bella makes. So yeah, I'd expect us to have the dog name is Bella, since we're parsing Bella as the dog name and we're trying to access that attribute, and then when we want Bella to make a sound, we should have Bella barks woof woof printed out. Let's put that to a test. Okay, lovely. The dog name is Bobby. Okay, looks good. Bobby barks woof woof. Yep. Since we're trying to improve the sound method. The dog name is Bella. Okay. Yep. Bella barks woof woof. Perfect. Yeah, we've created our objects, and yeah, this will conclude our object section